Right, I'm going to make black using ultramarine and burnt sienna. The ratio is about 60-40. And scraping sound effects might need to be a bit quieter. Thank you, sorry. So that's 60% ultramarine, 40% burnt sienna, which is giving me a really nice neutral black. And I take just under half and put it in the top left corner. Now I put a pea size bit of white with that black. And it's going to make a dark grey, so that's our next tone. And these greys that we're going to make are going to affect the colour. And we can mute colour, we can tint it, we'll have a lot more control when we make the greys. So with the dark grey, take 2/3 of it away and put it under the black. And then add the same amount of white that's left in the patch of dark grey that's left. Mix that together and this will give you a middle grey. And from this middle grey, we're going to make a light grey after this. So when you've made your middle grey, pick up all the grey, all of it, scrape it under the dark grey, and then just the residue left on the knife should be placed back to then make our light grey. And so with a light grey, you want to put the same amount as the other greys and blacks we've mixed in with that, and then just clean that area with the white. And this should give you a light grey. Okay, that has been done. So when you've done that, scrape it up, put it under your mid-grey, and then below that, we're going to put a white in. And then that is our scale going from black to dark grey to light grey to white. When you've done that, give the palette a clean with tissue and white spirits.
Sorry, I just disappeared there. I had a blooming FaceTime from my daughter. Oh. They always call me when I'm busy.
So give it a clean, give the palette a clean, like so, and that is now ready for the remaining colours. So the remaining colours, come down the side.
You want to watch that? Huh? What? You want to finish watching it? You can.
So this would be vermilion.
Forgot to get ready for my class.
Crimson. Yeah, can we have some, sorry, I'm recording. Can we just have a mute and the noise?
I can hear a lot of
think it's Jules.
Yeah, I don't think she can hear us. Oh, maybe she can.
Oh, God. I would say today has been
Testing.
very, 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 every step of the way. Every step of the way. So the colours I'm putting out are vermilion, crimson, cadmium yellow pale, yellow ochre, Naples yellow, and at the bottom I'm going to put out ultramarine and burnt sienna. And so the idea is now we've got all those colours out and all those greys, we're going to mix up our colours for this portrait and put them along the top of the palette, and we're going to number them with that red pen. So a good red Sharpie is a good move.
Oh,
Right, here we go. Number 1, everybody, it's on his forehead. Any clues? It's the lightest colour. I think
I've just made it with white, light grey, vermilion, and a little bit of red, and then I put a tiny little bit of Naples yellow in as well to give it a bit of warmth. It's almost like a baby pink.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's a good one. So it's white, grey, white, light grey, vermilion. What was the other colour you put? A bit of yellow in it.
I put a little bit of red in it. The what you call it one.
Vermilion.
Vermilion and
I think what I'm doing is I think I put a bit of vermilion in there. So I've gone vermilion, light grey and white. What else do you put in there, Andrew?
I put because my vermilion is really orange compared to yours. So I put a bit of cadmium red in it as well.
Okay.
And then I put a little bit of Naples yellow, just a tiny bit, just to give it a bit of warmth.
Right. I'm going to do a little test to see where we're at. I think what we decided last time was to do a test maybe on a separate piece, have a testing piece where you test it, and then if you're happy with it, put it on another strip, which is going to be your reference strip to see where else that colour is in the printout. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do it on two pieces, one for testing on your printout and one for colour reference for when you actually do the painting. And mine's too grey, so I'm going to take a little bit of some of that to the side, add a little bit more red and white. This is pretty much our standard light colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Caucasian skin.
Baby pink.
Baby pink. And occasionally, that's a terrible joke.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So I've got mine. I'll put that at the top. That is number 1. So skin tone 2 might vary from printout or computer.
Mm.
It's like in my picture, it's got a bit more pink in it, a bit more red. So white, grey, I'm going to put a little bit more vermilion in there. Now, have you got the same, Andrew, with yours? So you got a bit more vermilion in there?
Yeah, I've just made that one, but I think mine might. I'm just scraping up. I think mine might need a bit more red in it. I put a tiny little bit of mid grey in mine.
Oh, right, okay.
But it does need a bit more red.
I'm going to do a little test. So don't forget to number your reference tester strip. This is kind of new to our group. Naming, numbering the testers. Did I do it last week?
We talked about it, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, we did it last week, yeah.
So I'm writing 1 there.
Yeah.
It's number 2. But make sure when you do your test, you do it on another strip. Yes, you're right. It does. You're right. Absolutely right. It has a bit of mid-grey in it to get the depth of tone. And if you add the mid-grey, it might make it too grey. So you might have to add more red. Did you find that?
Yeah, I've just done that actually. I made it a bit, to have a bit more pink in it.
Yeah. So if you add a darker colour to make it darker, it's going to make the colour not so bright. So you'll have to add more of the colour. And if you add more of the colour and it gets too dark, then you have to add the white. So you really are tinkering with it, moving it backwards and forwards. Does that all make sense to you? That if you find that the colour, when you add the darker grey, it might make it too downbeat, and then if you add the vermilion to make it more upbeat, you can then end up making it too dark. So then you have to add the white. So it is a little bit of backwards and forwards.
My printout is really quite dark on this one. I had a problem seeing the shadowed side of the face, and if I tried to edit it to make it lighter, then I got everything rosier, redder. So I'm not really sure of the colours on mine on the shadow side.
On the shadow side, it's an absolute mess. And I think as long as you don't go too Walt Disney, and as long as the tones are getting darker in a nice way, you're going to be okay. That's what I had in mind when I started numbering my printout. I thought, well, as long as they look okay and they get darker, that's the key. As long as they get darker, you're going to be fine. I mean, what we're doing is it's quite advanced stuff, really. I don't know how many people are actually doing what we're doing, which is being very, very particular with the tone.
Ooh.
Oh God, it's almost there. Just a little bit paler. So, how did you all find Emma Stone?
Oh, did I not show you mine?
Yes, you did. I haven't replied because there's somebody in Birmingham using my Apple account, stealing all my time.
I don't expect you to, darling. I know you're busy.
No, I replied.
I could not remember whether I posted it or not.
Yes, I think you did.
You put it on Instagram. It's brilliant.
You did. I said I liked it. Yeah, it was really good.
I'm not always good at. In fact, I've been trying to sort out my Instagram.
She was a tough one, wasn't she? I think, but a good one.
Yeah. Had her and lost her and had her again, and I think I've lost her again. So
I felt mine was almost like a poster effect in that the colours were quite different. She was very pale in places.
Oh, she was grey on mine. She looks like a waxwork dummy with googly eyes. I think I just.
She did it.
You make me laugh. It's the way you say it. It's the way you tell them.
She's got boggle eyes and she looks like a waxwork.
You're funnier than Alan Bennett, and he's a brilliant at making people giggle. You're a natural comedian.
Oh, thank you. I'll say thank you. I think it's a compliment, is
It
it?
is. Unlike my discussion about people with ginger hair last time,
Yeah.
which is touching on, which is a delicate subject, realising that you've got redhead ginger hair too. But I won't go on, but it is true.
Dig that hole, Tim, dig that hole.
I'll tell you an interesting fact about redhead. There have been no, and you can Google it, there have been no recorded deaths of COVID redheads.
Ah,
Wow.
So there you go.
so if everybody gets weller, hair dye.
So genetically, we're better than you. That's what I'm saying. So watch it. Oh, Lord.
My stepson's ginger, and he's known as the Ginger Ninja.
Yeah.
He loves it. He embraces being ginger. I love it. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Lovely colour.
Yeah, my husband's red-haired. Well, he's not now. He's sort of greyish. But all my kids have either been strawberry blonde, copper, or blonde. So they've all got a touch of the gingers in them, and a couple of them are blonde. Well, were blonde, but the two that were, one was a strawberry blonde and one was copper. They loved their colour hair, and I did, because I could always find them in a crowd. In the playground, I could always see where my lads were.
Tim Mitchen, do you know? Oh, Tim Mitchen, however you say his name. He does a brilliant song called "Only a Ginger Can Call Another Ginger Ginger."
Yeah.
Brilliant. I went to a wedding, and it was a ginger festival because the couple that were getting married were ginger.
Oh,
It was a big ginger festival. We all had to wear ginger wigs. It was brilliant.
So number 3, I think it's got a bit of yellow. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm just doing that one.
I think it has a bit of yellow on it.
Yeah, I've put a bit of yellow ochre in it.
I think it's white, maybe a bit of grey, light grey, and a bit of yellow ochre.
That's what I've done.
Yeah.
I put Naples yellow in mine.
Yeah, it could be Naples yellow. It could be any of those yellows.
And I put a tiny little bit of ultramarine in it, because it's almost got on mine, almost a greeny.
yeah.
Tiny little bit, just to. But that's on my computer.
I think a Cadmium Yellow Pale will make it go green with the light grey. That could do it too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I'm putting in a Cadmium Yellow Pale with my light grey and vermilion. And the tone is about the same as 2, isn't it? But it's just got a slightly yellow feel to it.
Just a little bit warmer.
Are you all still numbering?
Oh, heck, yeah. Although
it's actually good, because what's going to happen is you're going to think, oh God, what is that cheek, or what is that forehead? And you think, is it the same colour as number 2 on his Piltram, or is it the side of the forehead? And with your little tester sheet, you slide it over and see what number it is. And then you know where else that colour goes. It's not. That's how it works. Sounds like I'm making it up as I go along. Well, I am. Yeah, it's called Evolving Portrait Class.
Oh dear.
So my sister does classes for the Royal Academy. Zoom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she does it for the National Portrait Gallery as well.
Goodness me.
Yeah. But she gets a flat fee.
Right, so she doesn't get the profit from it then.
Well, if she gets more people, I don't think she gets, it doesn't equate to how many people she has.
Oh, I see. Do you know, this is coming out really dull, and I don't know why.
If you're keeping with the tonal progression of getting darker, I can't believe I'm going to say this. You can do your own. It sounds like Strictly Ballroom. You can do your own colours.
Yeah.
You can do your own. You can do your own steps, Scott Hastings. That's a great film, by the way.
Oh, it's brilliant.
That bit where he's near the railway tracks, when he's learning to do the that dance from that who was the girl with the facial scrub?
No, you don't. I don't know what film you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Strictly Ballroom.
Oh, that
Fran. Yeah, Fran's father was
And, oh yeah.
teaching him how to do the tango. It was not the tango. It was the fast heel.
Oh, it's like the flamenco, wasn't it? Type.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's her dad, wasn't it? Or something.
Yeah, it's a really good scene. Really good scene. Number 4. God,
I'm still doing number 3.
yeah.
I'm starting to repeat like Trump. He has a knack of repeating himself. He's a really good guy. He's my best friend.
Oh no.
Oh my God. So I think there's an addition of another red. So I think it's light grey. This is number 4. I think it's light grey.
Where's number 4 on the page?
Next to number 1.
Oh, I see. Is it just above it?
Yeah,
All right. I thought, yeah, right. I thought that said 6. Yeah. Okay.
So I think it's light grey, vermilion, but there's an addition of a bit of crimson to make it go a little bit cooler. These are tonally very, very similar. So we're definitely going to make sure the colour hue is a little bit different. And to remind you, colour hue is when colour changes slightly from red maybe to an orange, or green to maybe towards a yellow. And tone is when something gets darker. When you make something lighter, it tonally changes, and it's called tinting. Do you all know that?
No.
Mhm.
When you make something lighter, it's called tinting.
Oh, didn't know that.
Tinting, yeah. So Tintoretto's paintings are all very chalky. There's a very bad joke.
Thanks, Tim.
Well, I've just joined, Tim. Is it too late? I've just seen your email.
No, it's not.
You sure?
Jean.
Yes. Hello. How
Hi.
far have you got?
We're on number 4 now, but that's okay because I got a recording. So you could join on number 4.
Right.
You can catch up on 1, 2, and 3 on the recording.
Right. Okay then.
Have you had a
Thank
good
you.
day? Have you had a good day, Jean? Have you had a?
Yeah, a bit quite frantic because we've got a grandson who's 3 and he lives with us permanently, and he's off nursery school now and he's like a live wire and constant attention. So it's pretty frantic for the next 6 weeks or so. It's going to be a bit like that, but other than that, it's quite good.
Andrew,
Only yesterday we went to the beach.
did you have any yellow in that number 4?
No, not yet.
I think I put a bit of yellow in it. Better just a tiny smidgen
What one?
in number 4.
No, what
Yellow.
Cabin yellow, pale.
pale? It's a funny colour, isn't it, actually?
It is. It's got a. I've got to invite Paula because she can't get in.
It's okay. I got in.
Oh, you're in.
Yep. Thank you.
Yay.
Sorry, I did say that, but you mustn't have heard me. Thank you, Tim. I just got through.
Fantastic. I'm just getting stuff up on the email feed so I can see who's getting in, who isn't. Excellent. So everybody's here should be here pretty.
I won't be here tomorrow, but I just wanted to kind of watch this anyway.
Okay. Well, we got recordings if you want to go down that route.
Yeah, I'll try and do it during the week.
Did you add any mid-grey there, Andrea?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Is this still number 4 you're doing, Tim?
Yeah,
or
this
is
is number 4. Yeah.
that's the forward? My picture one with the numbers on is cut short, so. And is it right that it's very, very dark?
No, it's above. It's just above his nose.
Right, okay.
It's to the right of number 1, which is the highlight, the brightest colour.
Okay. That's number 1. That's number 1.
Tried a bit of crimson in mine as well.
Yes, that's essential. That's the difference between the first 3. I'm being very, very particular. I was last week with the Emma Stone portrait, but you've got to be when the skin tones are so close in tone. You've got to be very particular about your mixing. I don't always pick the obvious version of these people we are painting because they're not always the best best portraits. So there are many pictures of Donald Sutherland, but I'm picking ones that lend themselves to portrait painting. So it might be going back to a time long ago or to a more obscure film to find the reference. I mean, I looked at so many different films by Donald Sutherland to find this one. I was looking for a long time. I actually asked Andrea to help me whether I'd picked the right one or not.
Is your photo really dark, Tim? Because my photos have come out really dark, even on the email.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Oh, no, yours is lighter than mine.
Yeah.
That's even on my email, it's come out darker.
Yeah, I think it's darker in my email too, but my printer, remember, it's got lots of little pixies and elves doing a really hard job to make the painting, the picture more lighter.
Yeah.
I've got an Epson printer that thinks, oh no, too dark, let's just leave it with us.
So you're doing it lighter?
I'm doing it like my printer, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if I do another print and lighten mine up, then it should tally a bit more, shouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that is number 4. And so number 5 is on his chin. So I think whether you're working from your printout or from the computer screen, I think you all agree that this is more absent of colour and it's more of a grey. Do you all see that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more grey.
whereabouts on his chin is number 5? I can't see the.
Where Michael Finnegan's whiskers would grow.
Oh, right, I can see it, yeah.
Old Michael Finnegan.
Oh.
They came up with that name so it would rhyme with Chinnigan. Does anyone know that crazy?
No.
Michael Finnegan's got whiskers.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
dear.
got whiskers on his chin again.
Chinnigan, yeah. Nuts. So I think it's the main players are, the main colours are light grey, mid grey, because you can't make your mind up, use both greys and then find the right tone. So light grey and mid grey. I would say a little smidgen of vermilion just to add a sort of warmth, but I think yellow is the answer. A bit of cabin yellow pale. And with the grey, it should go slightly green. And so I'm going to add a bit more red. But definitely the yellow is the key colour to be added to the grey. And the yellow and the grey will make a slightly greeny colour. And I think the red, the vermilion, which we're using, will make it go to... So it could be a grey trying to become a grey-orange, but has green side effects. And having done it, I actually think there are 2 colours for one, so the second colour would have a bit more blue in it. But I'm only going to go for 2 colours because I'll mix two colours for one a bit later on. Ah, somebody's trying to get in. So, and I've got to invite I've got to come off this for a second to invite Susan. And inviting Susan, I mustn't press stop record, which would be horrendous. Right. Right, that's done. Right. Okay. Hopefully she'll join in a minute. So a bit more dark grey. I'm actually adding a bit of dark grey. Did you only use any dark grey, Andrew?
Yeah, you're doing 2 for 1?
Yeah, I should do 2 for 1, yeah.
I'm doing this second one now, but I'm doing it a little bit darker, with a bit of blue in it as well.
Yeah, I think there is a bit of blue in it. Sounds like you got the same printer.
Yeah, I'm doing it off my iPad actually,
Oh, right.
but my printer did come out very bright.
How's everybody doing with number 5?
I thought we'd done 5. I thought we were doing 6.
6, yeah, well, okay, let's move on to 6.
Are we doing 2 lots of 5 then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have a go at doing another 5. I mean, I'm going to have a go at doing another 5. So, a recap. I'm actually using mid grey to get dark enough, mid grey without any light grey. And I'm going to add yellow. I'm going to add a little bit of vermilion. This time, this one will have a bit of blue in it to make it a little bit. I put a bit of light grey in there to get it roughly in the right direction. It's a play between how much light grey and how much mid grey to get the right tone. That's almost there. A little bit of red. More red. I think I got there, Andrea, without adding blue. I think I put a more dark grey seems to have done it.
I put a little bit of blue in, and I've put dark grey. I've got a real mishmash, but it's slightly darker than my first one. So
yeah, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So's mine, and mine's got a touch of blue in as well. Just. There's not a lot of difference between the both of them.
no,
Between the 5.
just a shade darker, I think.
So anybody doing 2 colours for 1 on their palette, they should write the same number again, and then you know.
Yeah.
So number 6 is we're just moving along the chin. No, we're not. We're moving up to under the lip. Has Susan arrived yet from Ohio? I gave her a link. I don't think she's there yet, is she?
Is it the cast shadow number 6?
It's the shadow from under the lip, yeah. I'm gonna just have to come off again for a second. Sorry, I've got to try and let her know that I've sent her a link.
Thank you, Tim.
Oh, brilliant. You made it. It's been a tricky one. It's either me or Zoom. I'm blaming Zoom.
Okay.
We're on number 6, so I'm going to, pretty soon after the the mixing session, I'm going to send you the video, so you can do 1 to 5 from the video.
Okay.
Have you got your printout with you? And
Yes.
So
With me right now? No, I have to put, well, maybe. Let me see if I can try and pull those up. No, they didn't save here. Okay.
well, what you could do is you could print out while I'm discussing number 6, and then
Okay.
you can do number 7.
Okay.
And then we can go from there. You can join when you're ready, and everything you've missed can be done on playback. You can playback.
Okay. Okay. And of course, I don't know how you got the 4 that are above the white.
Ah, those blacks and greys.
Yeah. Is that all blue and burnt sienna?
That's right. It's the same as last time. So you start off with 60% blue and 40% burnt sienna, and make a black, and then make it progressively get lighter.
Oh, okay.
And we're looking for a dark grey, a mid grey, and a light grey.
Okay.
It's the same old routine.
Good.
It sounds like I've got an act on stage. Same tired old routine.
That works.
It works, yeah. I shouldn't say that because I'm recording it for new people. Honestly, I'm only joking, all you new people who might see this. That's something you don't always think about, because you get used to who you're talking to, and therefore you can be a bit cheeky or a bit tongue-in-cheek. But anybody who's not familiar with that carry-on might think, what's up with him? He's a bit cheeky.
And there's no yellow in any of those grays?
Yes. Oh no, in these greys, no, they're not. No,
Okay.
no yellows. And we're making a strip. We're doing 2. We got 2 strips. Okay. One strip is to test you've got your color right, and when you've got it right, then you use the other strip to make your reference color on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then you have all these that have been chosen as the correct color numbered with the appropriate number.
Okay.
And we've got 2 colors for 1. That means, that's super sophistication.
Okay.
So number 6, any clues on number 6? Anybody found the ingredients for number 6?
On mine it's more yellowy, so I'll put yellow ochre and mid grey and a little bit of light grey. I'm having to darken it a bit, and vermilion I put in it. Might have a bit of burnt sienna in it as well.
Well, I think you're right, and I think the 2 colours of 1 would be one with more yellow in it and one with more vermilion in it. So light grey, mid grey, vermilion. But the main, like you say, the main thing you saw first time off was the yellow, and I think that's right.
Mm.
I think that you're right. There has to be an essence of red in there.
Which yellow are you putting in the ochre?
The cabin yellow pale.
Right, yeah.
I put both in.
If in doubt, don't leave any yellow out. I made that up.
I must admit, I did mid grey, light grey, cad yellow, vermilion, and crimson. Is that wrong?
You
Putting
put some,
crimson
yeah,
in?
yeah, you can put some crimson in there. Yeah. It's when you got two colours for one, that means you're pitching it with two colours instead of one. You can be a little bit to the side of where you want to be, because you will cover it with both colours. So one colour could be a little bit more cool, one colour could be a bit warm. When you put them together, you're absolutely on target. Which is good to know. So I've done the red version of it first, and I'm going to do a yellow version of it. But the old rule of being tonally on target is better and more important than being exactly right in colour hue. That is a key thing to remember. Yes, I think there's a bit of burnt sienna. You said burnt sienna, didn't you?
Yeah.
A little smidge of burnt sienna in there. So this second colour I'm doing has got the same colours in: vermilion, light grey, mid grey, and cadmium yellow pale, but it's got more cadmium yellow in it, this second one. So it's got more of a yellow feel to it as opposed to the red feel, and that's the separation in the two colours for one. One's more yellow, one's more red. They're the same ingredients. And you want to take your time, make sure you get the tone right. We're going into shadow under the lip, so you want to get it pitched so it is dark enough. You want to get it exactly right. And it is, that's right. The more we do these mixing sessions together, the more we're going to be really trying to get exactly the right color. This is so good for you because you'll end up, anything you do, let's say in 3 months from now, you'll be so on the case to get those tones right. You'll find this is probably the best thing you can do to improve your painting, is what we're doing now, is to be really on the case. So having said that, 7, does everybody see a sort of green yellowy grey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly darker than 5, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's darker than 6 as well. So I think light grey, mid grey, yellow, maybe a bit of blue to make it more green. And I'm going to stick a bit of red in there. Red's always going to be there. Don't know why. A little bit of red, yellow, light grey, mid grey, and blue. That's tonally.
That's light grey, mid grey, yellow,
And a bit of blue.
bit of blue.
And I think my tone is miles too light, so I need to go up a grey. I need to go to a dark grey. Haven't quite got there with the mid grey, so I'm adding dark grey.
Right.
to keep it in the realms of looking like flesh, one of the little sneaky tricks is to make sure you have enough red in there. Even though it's a green, grey, yellow, you've got to add red to keep it feeling like it's still skin.
Right.
That's a little tip there. And I do think it's probably 2 colours for one. So I think one of the greys is a very green grey, and I think in it there is a slightly more fluorescent yellow, subdued yellow colour. Actually, I've had a look a bit closer. In my picture, Andrew, can you see a dirty orange underneath it?
Hang on, so let me zoom in. Underneath, oh, number 7?
Yeah.
Not on mine. Oh, actually, yes, I can. I zoom right in. Yes, yes, there is actually.
I think what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to make a red to go in this mix we've done with the green. I actually think you just make a dirty orange and stick this green colour on top of the dirty orange. And that'll do it. We got dirty orange coming up, so we don't have to mix it. It's coming up as number 9 or 10. So that's on, oh no, it's earlier that, it's the next colour. Of course it is, it's going underneath, isn't it? So we're doing dirty orange in a minute. Is everyone familiar with dirty orange?
Yeah.
It's a grubby orange. But it's extremely useful.
Where are we now?
Dirty orange is next to dirty
Number
orange.
8.
Dirty orange is next to 8 is next to number 7. To locate it exactly, it's slightly to the right of his neckline. If you look at his left side of his neck, next to the shirt, it's above the neckline, ever so slightly to the right by about 1/4 of an inch. If one wants to be really geeky. Right. So dirty orange. Any clues to dirty orange? It's a really classic colour. Dirty orange. Anybody take any takers on dirty orange? How to make it?
Yellow and red.
Yeah.
Grey.
Yeah.
Burnt sienna.
Yeah. That's it, I think.
Yeah.
Dirty orange, vermilion, yellow, cabin yellow pale, burnt sienna, dark grey. Bloody good colour. Sound like a general in the RAF, an officer. Bloody good colour. Am I allowed to swear in my own Zoom classes? This bloody a swear word. Oh, I said it again. Whoops.
Saying far worse.
My mum always used to hate me saying, "Oh, that's crap."
Oh my gosh, that's dark.
It needs a little bit of a lifting. So if it's gone too dark, you need to add a bit more white to it. So I'm going to add a bit more white to bring some colour back. I'm going to add more yellow to it.
Which grey did you put in there?
I put a dark grey, and it was too dark. So I've gone and put some white. I've added some white to lighten it. Dirty orange is sometimes elusive, you know. It's almost worth making a tube of it. These colours that repeat themselves a lot are worth making in a larger quantity.
I think when we do our 3 greys, we should also make a dirty lavender and a dirty orange.
Absolutely. Yeah, they repeat themselves. They're so useful. So I think, I haven't been marking my strip. I've been naughty. Number 6. You've got to mark your strip. Because if you don't, you get marks off your strip. I'm making people, not forcing people, but I'm making people buy telescopes from Lidl's.
I saw that.
I'm just saying,
Have you been spying on Tim?
hey,
Peeping Tim.
Who have you been spying on?
I have poor eyesight, so what I've done is there's a telegraph pole about 400 yards away, and I've stapled my in laminate. I've stapled one of my eye charts on this telegraph pole far enough up for no one to remove it, and now I look at it through my telescope and I can read the bottom line. The telescope.
That's hilarious.
And the thing is, you think, well, you're reading with a telescope, that's going to be easy. Well, the thing is, it's not. And what it does is, I can't see it straight away, but then I can, and it actually makes my eyesight better, trying to see an eye chart from 400 yards away with a telescope.
Have you told your optician that?
I don't think I will. You'll see, why don't you point it at the moon and stop being such a stupid idiot?
Do you take your glasses off?
Yeah. The funny
Okay.
thing is, if you're short-sighted, depending on what level, you can't see through binoculars or a telescope in a sharp fashion. But if you keep looking, you start to see better through the telescope, and then when you come away from the telescope, your eyesight's better when you look at normal things.
Is it?
Yeah, funny, isn't it?
We bought a super duper telescope during lockdown.
Oh God, did you?
Yeah, it's huge.
But is it a terrestrial? It's a terrestrial.
It's a second-hand one.
Is it up to the sky?
Oh, you can see the moon. You see the craters on the moon. It's amazing.
But do you use it to snoop?
Yeah, no.
Because that's where it really comes in handy, when you snoop on people.
No, not done that. Not yet.
Did you see what I was trying to do? I put it on Instagram. I'm trying. What I want to do is take the piss out of people from a quarter of a mile away. By maybe commenting on their sense of dress, their dress code.
Yeah.
Like screaming down the loud hailer. That tank top doesn't go with those canary yellow trousers.
Oh my God.
You're clashing with the whole of Newland Harbour, I should shout. Does anybody wear yellow?
Yeah, I love yellow.
Do you? I find it really hard. I'm a bit washed out when I wear yellow or yellow ochre or anything like that.
Yeah, I love mustards and all. Yeah, yellows, love it.
I think some people can carry it off. I can't. So
I don't know whether I can carry it off, but I like wearing it.
you don't get any people in the street stopping you and saying, no.
6.
All the time, yeah.
That yellow is a little bit acid. Mustard is fine, but if you do venture into the green version of the yellow, you're either playing for Norwich or you're looking dodgy.
I gotta say,
Oh.
it's really hard to match up colors on my palette that I see on the screen.
Yes, this is what I've been finding. And so in the end, in doing these mixing sessions, I've actually gone to my printout, which is different from other people's printouts. But I think your color matching is going to be more. It's going to be easier if you do it from a printout.
Yeah.
I'm finding it hard to get number 8. I got to go quite green. Is everybody else finding that it's quite green?
A lot
Dirty
of mine,
green.
especially when
I
it's
put
print
ochre.
shadows.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more
I
yellow.
thought 7 was supposed to be green.
It is, but this has got more red in it than 7, but it's still very very green. It's probably 2 colors for 1 again. I mean, two colors for 1 seems to be happening a lot. But it's not about being in a race. I keep telling myself that when someone overtakes me on their bike. I have a tendency to want to suddenly pedal after them.
There you go.
When you get someone overtaking you someone overtakes you on their bike, and you look and you think they're either too old to overtake you.
So when it's a 5-year-old on their stabilizers.
You go, and then you overtake them. So what happened last week is that this guy overtook me on his bike just at the bit where I turn off to go along the front, right? I think he had great joy in overtaking me. So I went on the main road. And he was going at a fair rate, but I went so fast on the main road. So when he came out the other end, I slowed down before he got there, and I would cycle really slowly. So he had to overtake me again. And he must have thought, he's going slowly. I left him behind 5 minutes ago.
Tim.
Well, I've done it. I managed to do the dirty orange, which turned out to be a dirty yellow-green orange.
Well, mine's cow milk green. Explain that one. I don't know.
Camelot green.
No, cow milk green.
Camelot green. I was trying to think, what is Camelot green? I haven't found it.
Cow milk green.
Yeah, I got that, but I was thinking of Monty Python and Camelot.
Oh right.
I think it's my mum's fault. I tend to go off on tangents, so when people mention something, I'll bring up a film with maybe that word that was in their sentence, which has nothing to do with the subject they're talking about. I've done an orange supplement, 2 colors for 1. I don't know about you, Andrea. Have you done the same? Have you done a 2?
I made an orange and then I put it to one side because I like you. I thought it was.
I've done the same, exactly the same, but I've actually then made it number 8 too. So I've got it covered.
Yeah.
Because
Mine's gone quite brown.
then you need to stick more cadmium yellow in it.
Right.
Sorry.
The thing is that you've got to be careful with greens, because unless you have a complementary a second color with it, it can look very unlike skin.
Yeah.
And it can stand out and look awful. If you're doing a pale complexion, and we've done Maggie Smith, and we've done Emma Stone, I encountered it, and I saw with some of your paintings, you had encountered it too, where you put a colour on that might be a cool blue or dirty lavender. And if there's not enough red in it, it can look like a dirty mark.
Yeah, it just looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it can look wrong. It doesn't have any. It doesn't feel like skin in any way, and therefore you need a complementary, not complementary, but you need a second colour, 2 colours for one to make the green or make the lavender work. So that's where it really comes in handy. But there was a lot of that happening. Pale skin can bring on difficulties.
Mm.
Yeah, I had that last week with Emma Stone.
I think everyone was facing that with Emma Stone. The only way anyone could get through that would be to be Stone.
I'm mixing a lot of sienna in my colours, but that's because I'm seeing it on my printer.
You're mixing a lot of what?
Burnt sienna.
Yeah, there is elements of burnt sienna popping all over the place.
Ooh.
9 is quite a nice upbeat colour. It's more like it's like dirty orange trying to become clean.
Yeah, that's what I'm mixing at the moment.
Dirty orange and rehab.
But my 9 and your 9 are so mile apart.
Well, I'm talking about 8. 9, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
9, yeah. So it's the cadmium yellow and vermilion, and then less grey, less mucking it up. Might even be a bit of burnt sienna in there, but when you add the grey, don't put so much in.
Which grey, sorry?
I'm going to do a little bit of light grey and a little bit of mid grey, and then I'm going to cross my fingers.
Ooh.
Do you think people speak quickly when they try and hide the fact that their information might be bogus or not quite right?
Yeah, well, mine looks puce.
Ah.
I think I've used too much alizarin.
I had a headmaster who went puce a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He had puce-inducing students.
Yeah.
What colour did you use there, Tim? Yellow and which one?
I used yellow, cadmium yellow pale, and vermilion with grey to make quite an upbeat orange.
Right.
But now I need to. It's a little bit too upbeat. So, Andrea, have you put blue in there? I might put a bit of blue.
No, not yet.
I might put a bit
Is
of
it 2
blue.
for 1?
Number 9.
Is it 2 for 1, do you think?
I think it is, yeah. But can you see that it's yeah, I think it's more yellow. It's quite close to 8, but not quite. Oh, it's difficult because I don't know what your printout's like. But I do think your printout's pretty similar to mine, Andrea.
Yeah, mine comes out quite orange.
Mine's nothing like it.
I've got a lovely orange here. Terracotta almost.
Well, I think if it's lovely and at roughly the right tone,
Go with it.
go with it, yeah. Oh no, mine needs to be more grubby. I've given it too much credit of being light and wonderful. It's actually quite dull. You would never talk to a person like that. Actually, you're quite dull, you know.
I
You
say,
might
look
on the
at
party.
your printout from here. It's very bright where your face is.
Yes, I mean, it's my Epson printer. It's helping me out.
It's really bright on yours.
Sometimes machinery feels sorry for you and tries to help you in every way it can. And my printer, I think, feels, poor chap, he's had someone hack his Apple account and let's give him a good printout.
Oh, it's definitely got a lot of burnt sienna in that, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. There are many ways to get an orange, and you can do it with just red, or you can do it with burnt sienna. When colours get darker, you can have slightly different ways of getting to the same colour, and that should make you feel more relaxed, knowing that you can do several ways. I mean, when you think about black, God, there's so many ways to get the black you want because it's so dark. And as you get lighter, there are less ways of getting something. That's it. Got it. I might do 2 colours for 1, but I think some of you already done it. But I've got my 9, and I think I'll fiddle with it if I need to. The 10 is darker still, isn't it?
Yeah.
I might have 10 already mixed as a dodgy mix, but it's vermilion. I think it's burnt sienna in there too. Vermilion, cabin yellow pale, mid grey, dark grey, and a little bit of burnt sienna, and I might put a bit of blue in there. As long as it's darker than number 9. And it might be 2 colours for 1. Because it looks dirty in places, doesn't it? Has anyone ever given a lecture and someone's fallen asleep?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever been caught out by the
I've
rest?
been in a lecture sleep.
We actually had 2 teachers plan something. They were back to back. Their rooms were back to back. This one kid kept falling asleep in his history class. So the next time he fell asleep, the history teacher told everybody else real quietly, get up. They left the room, they traded places with the English class. And when he woke up, he was surrounded by a totally different class.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's so good. Well, I was doing a demonstration in front of a group of about 16 people. And very fortunately for me, the lady who fell asleep was the one who couldn't stand for a long time. So she was at the front on a stool with her back to everybody. And no one could see that she'd nodded off. So when they all went back to their tables, I did time to wake up. And no one noticed.
That's funny.
I got away with it. It's not a good advertisement for your teaching skills.
I used to find when I was doing training in schools, you'd invariably find the PE teachers were the ones that would fall asleep because they didn't really want to be there.
Yeah, I can see that. That's probably why Mr. Wilkinson was always very bad at geography. He's a PE teacher trying to tell you where the Caspian Sea was. He should have been showing you how to do pole vault or rope climbing. Mr. Wilkinson. I think he was a bit of a lout. Now looking back, but when you're a kid, you just thought he was a bit of a bolshy teacher. I think he was a thug, really. I went to a rough school. It was like prison.
You don't sound like you've been to a rough school.
It was like prison. It was like prison. But the only thing is, thank God you were let out of prison at the end of the day. It was not like a term sentence. Whereas I reckon it's probably the case if you've gone to a different type of school, like Hen did. Need a bit more blue in there.
A hard one to mix up, this one.
It is. It's a play between putting a bit of blue in and thinking, oh no, I put too much blue in, and then.
Which one are you on? 10?
We're on 10. We're doing two
Yeah.
versions of 10 because our sixth senses are telling us that it won't look like skin if you go for the dirty one on its
Mine
own.
feels like it's too dark as well.
Ah, yeah, but it has. Yes, you're right. Or not. Yes, maybe not enough white in it, or
Yeah.
enough grey in it. It needs to be slightly chalky, doesn't it?
A bit white.
But what we're saying right now, you know, both of us plotting that it was too dark, led to the fact that it was needed to be a bit more chalky. That means needed a bit more white in it. So by adding grey, it sort of has knocked it back. And now I'm too light, so I need to add a bit of dark grey.
Tim, on my printout, my 10 is sort of like a bit lighter than the 9. Is that right on yours?
No, it should be a bit darker. 10 should be a bit
Right.
darker than 9.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because his wonderful nose is causing more of a eclipse of the light bulb on his philtrum. You understand that, you could easily understand 321, which was the most stupid, daft program on telly.
So is the 10 round his actual nostril then? Because I've got the number about slightly to one side, but is that the dark round the nostril then, the number 10?
It's dark. No, it's the colour.
Exactly where you've got the number.
Yes, it's above the right corner of the mouth. It's directly above the right corner of the mouth.
Oh, right, okay.
Are you making 2 for 1?
I'm doing 2 for 1.
Yeah.
I
What's your
think
other,
I think it's come to the point where we have to do 2 for 1.
so what's your other one?
My other one was slightly green
Oh, okay.
and one was slightly orange.
Okay, I've got to make a
Ooh.
greeny colour one then.
You know, doing 2 colours for 1 doesn't make life easier. It makes it a lot harder. But portrait painting is all about going that extra mile. It's the only way I can say that if you do try to do 2 colours instead of 1.
Why don't you just call them 2 different colours then?
Because they're the same tone. 2 colours
Oh,
with
right.
1 tone. That's what I should say, but it hasn't got the jargon, the sound, the nifty way. 2 colours for 1. 2 colours for 1 tone. It sounds, oh God, he's rabbiting on so many words. 2 colours for 1.
So are you saying that there's a cool and a warm?
One is warmer than the other. So it's one's, I've got it in there. Can you see them?
God,
Okay.
this is totally different to mine.
Well, fortunately for me, they're not totally different from the printout, of course. As long as you're in the right ballpark with your printout, and you can be a little bit off with the colour hue. The old thing, they've got to be tonally right. I forgot to bring I'm going to bring my table over with the lamp because everything's a bit dark. So if I hold number 10 out again, you might be able to see it more clearly. Can people see that more clearly?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's nothing like my printouts.
No. Not at all.
Where have I put it? It doesn't seem to get enough light. I think I'll be doing my Zoom class from Barbados.
Sounds a good idea. We'll fly out and join you.
Yeah, I'll be there. I know some good bars.
Hey?
I know some good bars in Barbados. I spent a lot of time out there.
Yeah,
It's a
me
nice
too.
place, isn't it, to hang out? I bought a hat in a supermarket in Barbados for the sun, and all the locals were laughing because I bought the biggest hat with the biggest brim to wear in the sun.
Is it a lady's hat?
Because I saw all the people who were raking the beach wearing the same kind of hats. And I think there was something wrong about either a tourist wearing those hats or anybody who wasn't raking the beach wearing those hats. So there was something in it that was not right for them, enough to make them laugh hysterically every time they saw me wearing this hat. I'll have to find the photograph. There's a picture of me giving a watercolour lesson to a top French chef on a log. 11. Any clues on 11?
Oh,
That looks lighter.
Possibly.
It is lighter. 11 is lighter. I break the rules when it comes to lips. So we're doing the bottom of the lip. Has everyone located 10? It's
Yeah.
a number with 2
yeah.
Yeah.
Right, great. Okay, so it's got. Well, I think it's got both reds in there. It's got both reds. So start off with both reds and a mid grey. That's a good way of starting. So vermilion, crimson, mid grey, mid-tone grey. Good way of starting any kind of lip colour. Give that a slide. That'll give you something going in the right direction. Was someone being sick, or did someone tread on a dog? Sounded like someone trod on the tail of a dog. There's some really peculiar noises every so often.
Sorry, it's my 2 dogs. They're kind of growling and
Oh
playing
right,
with each other.
but you hadn't trodden on them.
No. They're after each other. They play fight all the time.
Oh right. A bit like me and my sister when we were growing up.
They sound way more serious than they are.
Yes, are they Rottweilers or what?
No, one is the Shih Tzu Havanese, and the other one is a mixed breed that's even tinier.
Right.
Hey, Herschel, stop.
They sound like they could defend.
Well, they think they can.
Well, the great thing about dogs is all they have to do is make enough of a sound, and then they're effective, aren't they, to wake up everybody in the house.
That's right.
Well, they agree. So I'm going to put a bit of blue with this because it needs to go. I've added grey, but it needs to go cooler. So I'm putting a bit of ultramarine in. So has everybody spotted the connection between Rembrandt and this picture of Donald Sutherland? Rembrandt's pictures were very three-quarter lit, with the portrait going off into deep shadow. And this is what drew me to this picture of Donald. There was great concern at the beginning because people thought I was talking about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a
I
film.
thought you were talking about Donald Duck.
Yeah, that wouldn't
But then
take.
I quite like the idea of painting Donald Trump's hair, and I could think of sort of pinks and greens and all sorts of funny colours putting in there.
Seagrass. He looks like the kind of grass that grows near beaches
Mm.
or derelict building sites.
Yeah, one of those things that roll around in cowboy films.
Tumbleweed.
Yes.
An awful lot of dirty orange, wouldn't we?
We would, but we would have him covered.
Mine's quite a dark mauvey purple now. Do I need? Have I added too much crimson to
I
it?
think the trick is to pitch it in the middle of the lips, and then if it gets darker as it goes into the shadows, make it darker. And if it's
Right,
lighter,
yeah.
make it lighter. We just need something there to pad out the bottom lip. So we need a colour, because it goes orange when it goes into the. In my picture, it goes orange when it goes into the shadows.
11B is quite orange.
11B is, and that's what we're going to do next. So I'm quite happy. I think I've found my 11, and of course it's there to tinker with on tomorrow. You know, we always expect to fiddle and adjust, and you know, the light will be different tomorrow because it's a different time of day. So these things should be expected, and then you make the correct actions to completely repaint what you've done. That won't happen. Right, this orange is really nice. I like this orange. So I think I'm going to start with a little bit of crimson. I'm going to have a bit of yellow. I'm going to have a bit of vermilion. So I've got the two reds, vermilion and crimson and yellow. I'm going to add a little bit of middle grey and see what I've got. And I think it's all ratios, so you need to tweak it if it's too yellow, you need to add more red. If it's too red, you need to add more yellow. If it's too dirty, you've added too much grey.
Yep, exactly what I've just done.
So mine's too red, so add more yellow. If you've made it too grey and dirty, you need to add more colour. And if it gets too light, then, without falling into the trap of what you've done before, you can add a little bit of light. You can add a bit of white sometimes if you don't want to make the colour duller. So you don't always lighten a colour if it's got too dark with grey, because you might then be making it too dull. So if that's the case, just lighten it with a little bit of white.
Is this 11A we're doing?
It's 11B.
11B, right. Okay.
Someone said to me, this is a little bit like painting by numbers. And I was horrified. I said, what do you mean? And then I thought, well, it is.
That's what someone said to me when I was saying about what I was doing. They said, oh, so you're painting by numbers then? And I said, well, not really. It's nothing like that, but it might just sound like it.
Well, the funny thing is...
Oh, don't try it. It's a lot more difficult than painting by numbers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the funny thing is, it's like super advanced painting by numbers. So in a way it is. And I think painting by numbers has got bad press, and I can understand why. But I was going, what are you saying? And I thought, they're absolutely right. But it's not quite, you're right. God, you know, to paint doing painting by numbers like this is super.
You're just numbering the tones, aren't you, really? You're not
We are.
numbering the actual picture.
We've only got numbers in one area. We need to then find out where those other tones are. It's making us.
Well, I think when you paint by numbers, you get all the paints ready mixed, don't you? So they're all
Yeah.
there in little.
You do.
It's already mixed and you've got all the lines to stick to.
Yeah.
That's
I
an
used to
idea.
love doing them when I was a kid.
That's an idea. Give me an idea.
Yeah.
I've got quite a coral colour now.
Coral fits with me. I like the sound of coral. It feels like you've done it. Coral's good.
Right.
Good name to name your kids.
Coral.
We've got coral over there, and we've got sphagnum moss living with us.
Amethyst.
Amethyst. That's good. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice name. That's what the kung fu instructor said to his opponent. I'm a fist.
Oh.
Terrible. The worse they are, the better they are. That's what I think. I don't know if you ever remember Richard Whiteley.
Yeah.
On Countdown. He had some of the most dreadful jokes, and they were so bad they were good. One of his jokes was, did you know that the person who invented the first door knocker got the first Nobel Prize?
Is that a joke?
It's a joke, yeah.
Oh.
Nobel Prize.
On the Nobel Prize.
Oh,
yeah.
Nobel Prize. Yes, well done.
Terrible.
I like it. That's good.
Right. That's 11B in the bag.
Right.
This is actually a very sophisticated portrait. I mean, we've had tests and a half, but this is actually a brilliant hard test again. Well, any ideas on 12? I think it's the same old stuff, isn't it? But darker.
Darker.
So it's vermilion, 2 reds again, vermilion, crimson. I might sling a bit of burnt sienna in there. Feel like I want to do a bit of burnt sienna. It's got a little bit of white in there, but you know we have grey, being a bit more sophisticated. So I put a little bit of light grey, which is probably not dark enough. A little bit of light grey and a little bit of middle grey. Mix that all together and see what I've got. So the 2 reds, burnt sienna, and our greys, and you've just got to find the right grey. I think dark grey is a bit too dark. It might be a smidgen of it, but I need to add more colour, so I'm adding a bit more vermilion and crimson. So you're already playing backwards and forwards to making it grey, or then making it more colourful, pitching the tone right. So you know you've got parameters.
Tim, you know when these portrait artists paint lots of different colours in faces.
Yeah.
I never quite understand how, is it just a style thing, or should there be some meaning to that colour? Should it be a reflection of something else in it? Or do people just do what they want?
I tell you what it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be so many drugs that makes them see those colours.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people over
Hey.
some people over egg it. Yeah, you know when someone's under the influence because
No, but on that note, what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, is that it's the values, the tones. If the color is the same tone as what should be there, it will work. You can't just willy-nilly put some crazy
absolutely
colors here and there. It has to match the tone of where you are. And it's a cold and a warm, situation where, depending on your teaching or your way of thinking or looking, whether it's a warm or a cool. It's not just some willy-nilly wild color.
Yes, I think some people understand that and they are very successful, and some people don't understand that, and then they end up with gaudy paintings that don't work because the tone is all over the place. That's what I've been saying all the time. You're quite right to bring it up. It is about, if you get the tone right, you can.
Yes, that's what you've been telling us.
Using emerald green to a face that is pink, and it will look a bit funny, but it will sit nicely tonally in the picture. But it might not look like skin, and therefore it will sometimes, especially in fair skin, stand out so much that it'll look wrong. So if the colour hue is out by a long way, by mistake, then you need your eyes tested, and by design, then you're crazy.
I give up if it's a green emerald green.
If you've done emerald green, then you're just testing my
I think
patience.
it would turn towards blue.
There is blue, there's blue there. But yeah, I mean, Hen, my lovely Hen, she used to do emerald green when I first met her in her portraits, and she made it work because tonally they were fine. They had they sat in there nicely. But then she had things like candy floss pink and stuff like that. These all happened to appear in Morris dances. She was nuts about doing men at work. So before her chefs, she did Morris dances. There are plenty of those outside the ship.
Right. Tim, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go now. I'll pick the rest up. We've got a takeaway that's arrived. We've got a birthday party going on.
Oh, right.
So I'll pick up tomorrow for the recording for this and finish it then.
Just before you go,
Yes.
what is your takeaway?
It's an Indian.
Oh, good, great. Excellent.
Yeah, it's one of my son's girlfriend's birthday it's next week, but we're going to be away then, so we're having a takeaway tonight.
That's fantastic.
So I'll go and join them all. Okay, thanks.
Okay,
All
enjoy
right,
your
bye.
time.
Bye.
Bye.
Excuse me, can you enlighten this American? What is a takeaway?
It's like
Takeout.
a takeout.
Oh, takeout. Okay, that makes sense. I could have guessed that.
And the standard takeout in England seems to almost always be either Indian or Chinese.
Yes.
Or fish and chips. Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And if you're an assassin, it's probably someone who needs to be rubbed out.
However,
That's another kind of
it's
takeout.
people getting together and taking out or taking in or whatever.
No, you
Just people picking up a to-go order.
yeah.
Okay. It sounded like she was going to get together with some family.
I think
It does sound that way.
Yeah.
No.
I would give all those people who are late to the party plenty of naan so they don't eat the chicken sandwich. Fill them up on naan bread. Anybody who's a gannet who eats more than their body weight in half a minute, give them the naan bread at the beginning so their tummies are full of naan bread so they can't eat all the important ingredients.
Peshwari naan. Ooh, nicely.
You can get different naans, can't you?
Yeah, I like Peshwari. Coconut.
Coconut.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, sounds good.
I'm getting hungry now.
When I used to go to the Indian with lovely Hen, she always had ask for the hottest curry and ask them to make it hotter, and they would come out and look at her in disbelief because none of them would ever themselves have that kind of heat.
They don't. Curries in India, I've been to India a few times at work, and their curries aren't hot.
No.
And I did an Indian cookery course, and the lady that ran it, she said that it's just they actually made things like jalfrezi for the English.
I had a hot curry at the Ganges before going to see a film at the Savoy Cinema, and I was so poorly because it was so hot. And the thing is, what triggered it is I had a whole bag of Revels before the adverts had finished at the beginning. I had terrible stomach cramps. It was a mixture of chocolate and all the surprise ingredients and the curry.
Sounds revolting.
So the lesson here is it's either the heat of the curry to be avoided or having Revels afterwards.
Oh gosh.
They don't eat Revels in India.
That doesn't surprise me. I always used to say Revels.
I don't even know what a Revel is. A Rebel is.
A Revel is a chocolate, like a chocolate raisin with raisins in, but inside you could have orange, you could have coffee, you could have
Toffee.
you could have
No one likes the
toffee.
coffee ones.
Nobody likes coffee ones. Ugh.
No, Hen hated them.
I like the coffee ones. They're lovely.
Yeah, they're my favourites.
And the problem
Is
is,
this what
you
you-
bite into
is
the
this what
coffee
you-
one, and you think it's an orange, and then all of a sudden it's such a it's a coffee.
Yes,
Oh, it's lovely.
So annoying.
and I'd never get a kiss from Hen if I had a coffee one. That was it.
Oh no, I love
Is
the
this something that you would eat at the movies?
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
a bag of chocolates.
And
So
the trick
more or
is,
less like a raisinette,
the trick
but with
is
other weird things.
never take a transparent carrier bag with your goodies in, because they get you at the front. They get you. Excuse me, sir.
I always thought
Are you guys
Rebels were
wearing masks now?
Yeah,
from the 24th?
Yeah, as of tomorrow, isn't it? As of tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not just
Ohio
still, it's
passed a law that as of today, we're back to full-time wearing masks.
yeah. I've not been out yet, actually.
There's I think somebody posted on Facebook and it said like what, because of now they're saying you've got to wear masks. Wearing masks now is like taking condoms to a baby shower.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
can't argue with that.
I don't understand how I can be in a classroom with 30 kids and not be allowed to wear a mask.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is
Don't,
madness, isn't it?
don't get
What?
it.
They're
You're not
making-
allowed?
No,
No,
they're making teachers sign releases that they're not going to hold anybody responsible if they get sick or die.
Oh my word.
No, but what did I? That's horrible.
Really?
Who said something about they can't wear a mask?
I
Well, the
did.
thing is,
Where is that?
I'm a teacher. And with
And
the,
then
where
you cannot
are you
wear a
up
mask?
yeah, there's a government policy come through,
Are you doing
and it's,
13, Tim?
you don't wear masks. It says.
Yes, this is 13, everybody. So you can see what I got here. I've got red, crimson, and dark grey. Maybe a little bit of light, mid grey to make it light if I need to. But we're going darker still. So this
So
is
you've
dark,
got red, crimson.
red,
dark grey.
crimson, and dark grey. And I bet I'll stick with a yellow in there. I don't know, but let's find out. I think I will. This is very, very dark, and 2 colours for one again. So, you know, you could have one that's more orange, but we're going darker.
Do you always put more vermilion in than the crimson? Because I seem to sort of like end up with basically just crimson when I add the 2 colours
Yes, be
together.
very careful with crimson. Crimson is like the blood from the face hugger in Alien. When you cut the claw, it sinks through the spaceship into space.
Yeah.
It's deadly stuff. Not as deadly as Prussian blue. You want to. There's one colour you don't want to get on your clothes. Prussian blue.
Oh, right.
But you know,
Oh, I like
sometimes,
that.
Tim, you say red. I always know that you mean vermilion when you say red.
Yeah, you know I've got favourites, don't you?
No, but I mean, is someone mistaking and putting crimson in instead of vermilion when you say red?
Yes, I should mention crimson.
I'm just wondering if that's her question.
Well, you know, I've fallen out of crimson, naughty colour, tends to, and so I don't always call it by name. I should do, but it's been bad.
I have a black question. Why go for the burnt sienna and blue? Why not the sepia and blue? Doesn't that take you darker?
Sepia.
Yeah.
What color is that?
That's sort of a
Sepia.
browny grey colour, isn't it?
It's a
No, I mean,
very
but-
dark, cool brown, the darkest possible. It's right next to asphaltum.
It could be too extreme. Burnt sienna, it's got a redness to it, which will stop the dark going. If it's too cool, it will make the grey. Sorry, it'll make your black go ever so slightly green, like raw sienna does.
Okay.
Like raw umber. Raw umber makes the black go green, and I'd imagine things like Van Dyke brown would make it go green too, and burnt umber makes it go too red. So burnt sienna is pitched and it's lovely. It works better.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So if you're just using a mixture to put black, but if you're using it to make grays to be the structure of your whole painting, it needs to be the way you're telling us because that brings the best harmony.
It brings out the best grey. Greys that are got a hint of being too cold, not by the amount of blue and brown, but because of the brown itself. It'll never give you a black that sits beautifully in the middle, like burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is a perfect brown to make a very neutral black. Some people make their black by using all the colours, like 5 colours, on their palette. The trouble with that is that, you know, next year you're still doing it.
Yeah. And then there's some kind of a red-green combination that people like for a black as well. I think it's crimson, and I don't know which green.
Viridian.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
sounds like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's Viridian and alizarin crimson.
Yeah, it sounds
And
like
is that
Makes
a
it cool
warmer?
black. That's supposed to make a cool black.
sounds like you've been there and done it, Elaine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I make all sorts of blacks like for just a black area in a painting, but not to make gray. I run into problems when I was doing the gray because I ran out of burnt sienna, so I made my own, and it was really difficult to get the grays like you have there. And it was hard because I was making up a burnt sienna from a lot of colors, and it was very difficult to get it correct.
It'll be pretty hard to do.
It's on order. It's supposed to arrive today.
Ouch.
What time is it where you are? In America.
In Ohio here, it is 2:30.
Where I am, I'm the same as Ohio.
So you're mid-afternoon?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Is it Friday or Thursday there?
Thursday.
They're behind us.
Oh, they're behind us, right? Okay, I did wonder.
I think
day,
it's
just a
Friday in
couple hours.
Australia.
It's Thursday today. We're not on Friday.
No, I know, but that's what I was wondering whether they were, because sometimes on New Year's
No, we're
Eve
not
you get people
Australia.
celebrating New Year
They're
before
Thursday
you do.
afternoon.
I think
They're
that would
Thursday
be
afternoon.
Australia.
Yeah, that's the far
Yeah.
east on Australia. They're forward.
I don't pay much attention to who it is. I just know somebody's ahead.
Yeah.
And India has the half hour as well. So they're like it's about 5.5 hours. That's always throws me when I go there.
I know when I came back from Japan, I slept for 26 hours. I didn't realise. I thought it was just like 8 and missed a day.
When I
Did you
worked,
get any jet lag?
No, I just slept for 26 hours.
Oh,
when I was flying, when I was crew, I'd do a trip to I could do a 9-day Singapore, Sydney, and then come home, and then 3 days later I'd do a 4-day San Francisco. So I'd be in complete opposite direction.
Oh God.
Oh.
I do not know how you do that.
I don't know how I did it.
Oh, it must have messed with your head.
Yeah, you don't realise until you stop.
Yeah.
And live in a fog.
Yeah, I had a student from many years ago, Matt Coulmer.
I know Matt. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, he was a pilot. He stopped.
Yeah. He now lives in Exeter, is he? Something like that. He's teaching art.
He's teaching. Yeah, I'm so chuffed that I've actually got a student who's become a teacher, an art teacher.
I knew Matt before he flew,
Oh, wow.
and then we were friends for ages. And then sort of I moved away, he moved away, and then he was a passenger on one of my flights.
Oh, amazing.
And then met up and stuff. He was living in Aberdeen when we were flying, and then lost touch. And then actually he popped up on, I can't remember, it might have been something that Henrietta posted or something, and it was like by Matt Coulmer, and I was like, oh, it's Matt, that's bizarre. And then we got in touch, and then he had the story of he's now an artist and given up his job as a pilot. And
so the amazing thing is, he came on my course not through you.
No, I know.
Coincidence.
Yeah, just coincidence.
Huge.
Small world.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lovely chap. I haven't seen him for a long, long time.
I've done 13. I've done 2 13s. I've done one that's got more colour in it and one that's a little bit more less colourful.
oh.
To say goodbye because I
More
have to go.
colours have you added?
So thanks, Tim. I have to go.
Okay, well,
I won't be here tomorrow. I'm going away for the weekend. So have a good weekend, and I hope to do Donald during the week.
yes, I'll send you Donald's recordings.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Goodbye.
thank you.
Bye all.
Bye.
Bye.
Tim, is that your 15 you've just done?
No, that's 13.
When
14.
you say more colour in your 13, what other colours have you done?
I've put more vermilion in it, so I've got one that's got a little bit darker, and one that's a little bit. I'm going to mark it on here so you can see. I think
Right.
it's better now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the one with the less colour in it. It's very dark,
Yeah, I've got one very dark one.
and this is
So,
this is the one with more red in it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just.
And Andrew, what did you make for number 14?
Oh God, it's a bit of a mishmash actually. I start at crimson, and then
It's a bit dirty, isn't it?
I've used bone.
I think my 14 is actually more like 15 actually, because it's quite dark.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on. I mean, I think it's definitely vermilion crimson, but you need to put a bit of yellow in there, maybe a bit of blue, because it needs to go a bit manky.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to put a bit of dark grey. So I've got vermilion, crimson, dark grey, and I'm going to put a bit of yellow in there. I'm going to put a bit of blue in there. It's a pretty mucky colour. It's like a dirty khaki. But it's not. It's like something you get when you're trying to mix something else and you go, oh, damn. It's that colour.
I think I'm going to move my number 14 to 15. It's far too dark.
Oh, someone's got a motorbike in their kitchen.
That's in my behind me.
Oh, right. Are they is it a motorbike?
No, I think it's up. We're sort of quite near a corner, and they've gone from the corner round onto the main road.
On 2 wheels?
I don't know. I couldn't see. I've got my back to the window.
Sound like they're on 2 wheels.
They could have been.
Probably they were picking up the litter.
Must be a pizza takeaway.
Yes.
They have to get there in a certain time.
Express Little India.
Yes.
There's an Indian called Little India in Penzance. I always thought the food was, because it was a huge menu at the Penzance Gandhi, now closed, and I was thinking, it's all the same though. Why are they naming it something else? It's all very similar. God, it really is. It's got a lot of yellow in it and a lot of black. It's kind of very very mucky. That's what you said, wasn't it, Andrew? It's mucky.
Yeah, I made it. I think I made mine too dark though, so I'm going to move mine 14 to 15.
Right.
And,
I'd put what colour is it in mine? When I mixed it up before, I put some burnt sienna in it.
Yeah, I think there's burnt sienna in there too. I'm putting a lot of yellow in it because it looks like it wants to be khaki, a dark khaki, or that wants to be part of it.
it might be 2 for 1.
I think it is. It's one of the.
Are you using the masonite board for your palette?
No, it's a tear-off paper palette.
Oh, okay.
Very, very good. It's for lazy people who don't do the washing up.
Yeah.
Anybody who hates doing the washing up will love these palettes because you don't have to do any tidying up. You just throw it away. I actually thought drying up was worse. No one dries up nowadays.
Dishwashers.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's that too. Do people really pay for their meal if they've forgotten their money with washing up? Is that true, or is that just sort of like made up?
I think it's made up.
I mean, God,
About washing up? We still have to wash up.
if you've forgotten your money at a restaurant, you wash up. And if
I've never come across it.
if you've forgotten your money at a 3-star restaurant, you're washing up for a month.
Yeah.
I think that's just in old movies.
Yeah.
You're chained to the sink.
That'd be quite a good thing actually, because you know that you'd just use a dishwasher, wouldn't you? To wash up.
Yeah, you know you've forgotten your wallet, so you've got one of those little portable dishwashers. Which be on wheels. Well, I've done 14. 15 in my picture's quite hot and dark. And I think 15 is really easy because it's just short of being really black, isn't it? 15 and 16 are very similar, but the 16 is in the eye socket, so that's really dark. How much red did you have in there, Andrea, for your 15?
In 15, I put crimson in it.
You only vermilion.
I think I probably did. I tend to stick a bit of everything in.
Yeah. So with the dark colours, you can be flamboyant. That means you can be showy and stay.
It's trial and error, I think. It's just hoping for the best.
Flamboyant. Someone who's flashy and can stay above water.
Oh God, no. It's not me.
What a terrible band, Flamboyant. Came out oh God.
There's green in 15 as well, isn't there?
There is green in 15.
Yeah, I can see green in it.
I think there's 2 for 1. There's one with a green and one for green.
It's a
I
colour.
think I'm going to take off. I've gone as far as I can. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll try.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Yeah, too colourful one.
So you're using the reds again? And
Yeah,
then adding blue or something?
yeah, I'm adding blue and yellow. It's a really dark colour. But having said that, it's got to still be greyed. It's very easy to think it's so dark that you make it too dark. So it needs an element of grey in there,
Right.
or any kind of thing that will make it a bit more chalky. Always think of that comedian, Jim Davison. He wasn't very PC, was he? He had a character called Chalky.
I've met him.
Yeah.
He lives in Guildford. I used to see him walking around Guildford High Street.
I imagine he's really nice to some people and not to others. I
I
think
carried him on a flight once, and he was very nice.
I think he's a mixture. I think he can be charming to those that are probably not idiots. I think he doesn't take fools very well.
I think if you got on the wrong side of him, you'd know about it.
God, yes. Yeah.
I think it must be the same for all comedians, though. Everybody acts funny all the time, and maybe they're just feeling a bit grumpy sometimes.
Bernard Manning.
Oh God.
I've heard friends of mine have carried David Williams on flight, and they said he's horrible.
No, nasty.
Really?
Really rude, yeah.
Who's that? David Williams?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. I liked him.
He could be like the character in that when he plays opposite, when he plays the helper to the Prime Minister in Little Britain.
Yeah.
It's been banned now, hasn't it, Little Britain?
Oh, has it?
Taken it off, yeah. It's not, yeah, because of one of the characters in Fly With Me, when they did that one, the airport one. And he did that because you're not allowed to put black makeup on or something and be a black person. And
Oh, God, yeah.
You can still catch episodes of the Black and White Minstrel Show on YouTube, you know.
yeah.
When you do look at it, it is absolutely, because we're so sensitized to it now, it looks absolutely ridiculously bad. So 16 is in the socket, the eye socket. Any clues on 16?
It's like a dark, dirty orange, I think.
Yeah, it is, but darker than anything we've had. So I think there's burnt sienna in there. Burnt sienna, vermilion, cabin yellow pale, and green and black chocolate.
Ooh,
Dark.
Don't talk about chocolate.
I know. Green and black.
Dark grey, bit of dark grey in there. So what we're doing is we're making a super, super mega dirty orange. But it could be that it's actually not dirty orange. It's so dark. So dark brown, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
For those who want to be simple, dark brown.
Dark brown.
I remember being a chemist with my sister. We really took the mickey out of the person getting the loo rolls. It was an Isha, so all the loo rolls, being Isha, were hidden out of view on the top shelf. And this is back in the 70s when it was like a very old-fashioned chemist. And this woman used to get them down with a 10-foot stick with a V on the top, and she could just lift these toilet rolls off the top shelf, which she took forever doing. And I remember her saying to me, "What colour does Sir prefer?" And I said brown. I said the kind of bits of the giggles. And she had to leave the shop. To leave the shop.
That's not nice. Oh, gosh. Well,
It was so funny. Because she was actually looking for a fractional second, she was looking for a brown. I'm a great fan of anything laboratorial, as long as it wasn't dinner time.
Yeah, my granddaughter's just played now.
There's
Sorry.
something very funny about breaking wind. I don't know what it is, but it really is. I don't know what it is. It's just the sound. It's, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one, but it is funny.
It's definitely a boy thing.
Mm.
Find it
It was
hard.
very funny in the Pink Panther when they're all in the lift. Well, I think that's a celebration. We've got through all the skin colours. There were more skin colours than surrounding colours, so we're very close. We're really close to the end, and some of the colours are very easy.
Did you use any grey for the ice kit 16? Or did you just make it
dark,
really
dark grey, dark grey.
All right, okay. Not too much, I suppose.
Well, we want it so the socket is really dark, but not like 21, which is the black.
Yeah.
Black has got to be stated very, very dark. 17 could be 14, but I would make more of it. Now, we got 17 and 18, which are in the face colours, but I think we're going to mix more of them. 17 in my printout is definitely a dirty, dirty red grey. So I've got a bit of vermilion, I've got a bit of crimson, I've got a bit of dark grey. And it's worth mixing it up because we don't want to be exhausting our reserves of skin colour, because that just would not be on. So it's dark grey, vermilion, and crimson, with a smidge, a little bit of yellow. Has anyone had rain today?
No.
Yes, all day. All day.
Oh, I can
Whereabouts
really
are
like
you?
that.
Northwest. Just from
what,
Manchester,
northwest?
15 miles outside Manchester, Saddleworth.
Oh, right, okay.
Been really, really hot here. Just to rub it in.
Seriously?
Yeah,
It's
really hot.
freezing here. I've got a jumper and a body warmer on. It's freezing.
But I'm not cold, but like you, it's rained here all day.
It's heading this way though.
No, it's been bitter here all day. It's been grim.
Are you right up on the moors though, where it's windy?
Yeah, I'm at one of the Saddleworth villages. So
Right.
nice views.
How did they get the name for Grimsby?
Yorkshire, darling.
Ah. What was that Michael Palin? He was in a episode about it rained all the time. He was just banging on about how it rained all the time. It was like a Monty Python thing, but it was a It was a series of programs. We always talked about the precipitation of the weather. Maybe that's too obscure.
So when he was travelling around doing that documentary?
No, it wasn't around the world in 8
Right.
days. That was good fun actually, because that was that was early 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
such a...
before mobile phone.
Is it? Ooh,
I think so.
What?
Was it before the mobile phone? He didn't have like he couldn't pre-book anywhere. He just seemed to.
Yes, it was pre-mobile phone.
Yeah. Can't imagine life now, can you?
No. I'm so glad I grew up in the era without mobile phones and all this technology.
My dad had one of the first mobile phones, and he was always out playing golf. But he had a suitcase with a curly-whirly wire going to a commander's boat, and the suitcase was the battery. And it fell in a ditch once. It fell in a water hazard, and we were all worried about getting it out of the water hazard, whether we get an electric shock. And being the size of a suitcase, I think it killed all the fish on the next hole. It was so powerful.
Okay.
We've moved a long way since, haven't we?
Yeah.
I do like the old commando phones too. I mean, Dom Jolly did that sketch. Oh, yeah, we was in the library.
I'm on the phone.
I'm in the library, and he's shouting. He was one of the people I used to meet all the time when I used to go to London with Hen to the Groucho Club. He was always in there, so we always ended up chatting to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I bet he's a nice chap.
Yeah. I remember meet all kinds of people then. I was chatting to this guy, looked like he'd just come out of college. And Hen said, that's his name, he's called Blunt. He was a singer. Well, he is.
James Blunt.
James Blunt, is it?
James Blunt.
Yeah, I was talking to him for ages. I thought he just left college. And I said to him, we got his album at home. He said, yes, we have. But I didn't know. I thought he was just someone who'd left.
He's very, very funny. When you see him on Graham Norton, he's hilarious.
Yeah, I like him.
I like him. I think he sounds like he'd be good fun.
Was he in the army?
He was in the army, wasn't he? He was in
Yes.
the Queen's Brigade or something, wasn't he? And
He was quite high up as well.
yeah, he was in a programme, wasn't he, years ago before he became the singer with his horses.
The people you meet there, I think one evening I was at the piano with this guy who plays the piano at the Groucho, and giving him numbers to play, like from South Pacific, and we had remember Janine in EastEnders? I can't remember the actress. Do you remember Janine? Barry's girlfriend. She ended up singing with us near the piano. Like, wow, you're really nice. I thought you're horrible because in EastEnders you were really nasty.
Oh, yes, I do remember her. Yeah.
Janine. Yeah. Remember Pat Butcher? Janine. She always
with the earrings.
God, yeah.
I haven't seen that in years, EastEnders.
No, nor have I.
Yeah, I stopped watching it ages ago.
It's so depressing.
I've never
Yeah, I
watched.
can't watch it.
They always have a Christmas special, and it's someone about to be killed or some terrible thing going to happen.
Tim, you know the ear? Will that be kind of colours like 9 and 10?
Yeah, this is where your magic strip comes in. Look, so you hover your magic strip over the ear, and you think, it's number 12, or it's number because I think it could be some of the lip colours.
Yeah.
So we're looking at lip colours for the yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Paint your ears with great affection. Lobes of love. They only get worse.
Oh God, no, I can't. I think I've thrown my strip away with all my colours on, but I don't want to put my hands in the bin because it's full of cats. I'm not for it.
That's top level mistake.
Yeah, I've thrown the wrong one away. I've got an old one just sat at the side of here, and I've just thrown the wrong one away. Twerk.
19. Any guesses on 19 on the collar?
Dirty lavender.
19.
Yeah, it's going to vary. There's not so much red in my printout, but it's definitely got blue in it, and it's got grey in it, and it's
Mine's a bit greeny.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's a blue bird going on the green, so ultramarine and yellow and grey.
So is your 17 and 18 lighter than your 19 and 20?
Yes,
Oh,
that is the kind of observing eye I like to hear from students.
17, 18 and 21 are all, and all the rest of it are all dark
Yeah.
on mine.
They all look the same colour to me on mine. They're all just
Yeah,
dark.
that's what I think, they're all dark. No
Yeah.
variation in tone or anything that I can discern anyway. So.
Does anybody else make an absolute mess like I do?
I've just finished cleaning up.
Oh my God, honestly, I've got stuff everywhere.
I keep putting my hands in it as well.
Yeah.
What colours are we doing for 19 then?
We're doing ultramarine, cabin yellow pale, dark grey, and then if it's too dark,
Sorry, I missed that.
ultramarine blue, cabin yellow pale, dark grey, and if it's too dark, add a little bit more light back in there. Some of these colours might be good for the background.
I've kept all my palettes from all the previous paintings and
how
titled
fantastic.
them.
Oh, brilliant.
Wow.
Well, I just figured, because I've not finished any of them off yet, that it would be good to have it as a reference, but also it's quite juxtaposing next to each other, quite nice, really.
And then the horrors of horrors. We're mixing the same colours every week.
No, we're not though. That's
not.
the clever thing, you know. It's
Yeah. They're all unique.
Yes, they are.
Like people.
Do you always use exactly this palette, Tim?
Yes, with the greys, yes, and the colours, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the colour number 19. I like the sound of dirty lavender, so that's going to be my other colour that will complement this more greeny, mucky, blue, green thing.
Oh, I've just remembered, Tim.
Hmm.
What happened to last Saturday? Did you forget about me? How very dare you?
You know, do you know what? I hope you weren't going to remember that.
I kept looking and looking. So I just sat here and painted on my own, thinking, oh, well, he must have gone playing golf. I thought he's forgotten.
And at the same time, we were all gassing away in our Saturday.
Did none of you even think to wonder where I might be?
We thought you missed it like the one before.
You sent me a message, didn't you, Elaine? I didn't see it.
Is he doing it?
Oh,
And you saw it after the end of the
yeah.
after the end of the painting.
No, I wish I'd seen it. Because I haven't got an alert thing for on mine, so it doesn't alert me when I get a message.
Well,
So,
I tried everything. I was looking.
oh,
I think you should have the phone number to the studio. Someone can make like in Batman, they had the red phone in Gotham City.
Yeah.
You got the red phone to make this call. To I'm doing a dirty lavender, which is ultramarine vermilion, and a dark grey. This is going to be my other version to join the greeny yellow blue of the colour. So I've got one that's a little bit more like a dirty purple lavender of the same colour tone. We're getting.
It's so like him, isn't he? Kiefer is so like his father.
oh gosh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
You know, there's 21 years between them, or you'd like to say that, because it'd be a nice
Yeah.
thing to the 21 was great, wasn't it? Did anyone see 21?
24.
I thought it was 24.
Oh yeah, I saw 24. I didn't see 21.
Just remind me what it's about, because I can't remember the title.
It all happens in one day, but it takes forever.
So it's 24 episodes, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good.
I can't remember. There was a kidnapping, I think, or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
now.
Oh, they've been all, I like the one with the bomb. There was a bomb to be detonated. Atom bomb.
Oh yeah, there was that second one, wasn't it? Was that 48 hours?
That was
That's 21 hours.
24. Why do they call it 21? Is it 21 days? That's what I was thinking of. When there's that plague. I think
Oh, the zombies.
That's 28 days, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's with Cillian Murphy.
This is a common error I have, isn't it? What is 21? There must be a film with 21 in it. 21. It's probably a film about amnesia or something.
That's Momentum. Is it Momentum or Memento?
Yes, with Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
20. It's 20.
What is 20?
It's next to 19.
Yeah.
I watched a very cheesy film the other night. Has anybody seen the Eurovision song, the Eurovision one?
Oh, I love it.
It's so
yeah, ding
cheesy,
dong.
isn't it? I enjoyed
yeah,
it.
ding dong. I loved it.
Yeah, ding dong.
Yeah, play yeah, ding dong. I just, do you know what? We predicted that film 2 years ago. We were at our friend's Eurovision party, and I think we'd watched Blades of Glory with
Oh, brilliant.
It's funny, and I just said, Will Ferrell should just do Eurovision. It'd be hilarious. And he's married to, I think his wife's Icelandic or.
Oh right.
And this year I loved the Icelandic. They actually had a chance of winning this year if it'd been on. But yeah, I mean, I played that song to my year 11s. I made them listen to it twice. But yeah, I love you. But I really like that film. Is so good. Highly.
I watched it the other day. It was just it's cheesy.
This is the dirty.
My daughter wants to build an elf house, little elf house in the garden now.
This is the dirty colour in the collar. Got to be very careful. It's like tongue twister. That. This is the dirty colour in the collar. Did I get that right? This is the dirty colour in the colour. That's wrong, isn't it? Anyway, yellow, red, black, or dark grey, crimson and grey, and we're making like a dirty yellow green. I'm sure we got it in the face somewhere, but I'm mixing more of it. And we're going to finish in almost, matter of nanoseconds. We're very close.
Does anybody else? I keep getting cramp in the hand.
No.
It's because you keep rustling through those drawers in the back of the kitchen.
Sorry. I thought I'd put it on silent when I was doing that.
I'm sure you got an external mic from your computer put cleverly next to the cutlery.
Oh, God, I'm so... I haven't been rustling through the drawers. I was going through my paint drawer, yeah.
Yes, well, your paint drawer sounded like a old bullion in there.
That was about an hour ago, though.
You would cause, if it was the butterfly effect, you'd cause a tsunami in China in a day and a half.
Oh, sorry. Right,
I'm joking.
What colour is this that we're mixing?
This is like a dirty yellow.
What number?
Number 20. It's a two colours.
Yeah.
20, it's number 20. Number 20. It's like a dirty yellow.
Oh God, mine's.
Yellow, green.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at these
green,
deck
brown.
like tomorrow.
There's also like a dirty crimson in there too. And it doesn't surprise me. It's a collar that's in shadow, and the collar is white, and therefore white in shadow and white in light gives you every bloody colour in the world to mix up to make it work. So I'm doing a sort of dirty crimson, red, blue thing. I still haven't sorted out the person who wants to be my friend in Birmingham and share my Apple account.
Oh, really?
Does that go to the police now then? Because, well, have they been, is it a criminal act that they've been doing? Did they hack it?
Well, it might be if he's bought Mario Brothers and all these other things you can buy on iTunes, then it might be. But if he's bought really good iTunes apps, I might actually say, look, can we be friends? You've got good taste.
Probably a kid. My nephew can hack into anything.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's unbelievable. Yeah, he's called the hacker at school.
Oh, fantastic. I like it.
He does. My sister, he's hacked into her accounts and stuff. And
Really?
he has Apple Watches and all sorts that he's buying for his friends. And
oh my God.
Oh,
oh yeah, thousands of pounds worth. She had the fraud department ring her up. And have you spent this much on your card? She's like, no. It was her son. This was when he was about 8 or 9, I think. He's 11 now.
Wow, is he a genius? Because that's amazing.
He is absolutely amazing. He's anything. It's like PC World when you walk into his bedroom. It's any computer gadget. Even when he was really little, they were on holiday and they had a sat nav in Spain or somewhere. They couldn't work it, and he said, "I'll give it here. I'll do it." And he had it working in a few minutes. This is when he was like. He's incredible.
Does he take all his bedroom stuff and put it in PC World so it's a fair swap?
Honestly, he can do anything. He's really anything technical. He's unbelievable. If you want any help with the computer, you just ring Fernando and he'll help you.
Oh.
After the Saturday class, I learned how to pick a padlock, how to get in the door. I learned how to pick about 5 different types of locks, and what I use now are my Z clips, which I can fasten my canvas in the back of the stretchers, the canvas into the frames using Z clips, and they are fantastic for lock picks. I found if you bend them right. So that's what I was doing Saturday.
Picking locks.
Picking locks. And so now, if I leave the key inside and get locked and can't get the keys, I know how to pick the lock of the studio now.
If you were broken into, weren't you, as well?
Yeah, I know. I think it's really bad. But I'd like to break in to my own studio. Go late at night when I know I won't be there.
So you didn't ever find your camera then?
No, but my dad happened to have an absolute duplicate of it.
Right.
So he gave me his. So the last one is black.
Is it raining?
What number is that now?
21.
I'm just on 21.
We're going to add a bit of vermilion to black and a bit of crimson to make it a little bit of a red black. Oh, I think we'll have two blacks. We'll have one black that is... Let's have a green black and a red black. So one's got crimson in with vermilion, and maybe a tiny hint of dark grey, so it's not full on black. And then the other black can be one with a bit of green in it, so a bit of yellow and blue for the other black. So it's black again with a bit of yellow and a bit of blue. So there's a slight green tinge to it. And again, don't go nuts, but just knock out the blackness by just putting a bit of dark grey in there. So it's just been, you're just taking it down a bit. And that is it. When you've done that, you have done the lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, as they say in films, a wrap. Hurrah.
Dinner time.
I haven't got any carbon, but I'm going to try and do oil pastel on the back of the picture and trace it through. What do you think?
That might be a disaster.
Well, normally I do the squiggle technique. It takes me all morning.
What about carbon?
You
Tracy?
don't have any carbon paper?
I haven't got any carbon paper.
Right, I'll tell you what to do. Scribble all over the back of your photograph. Just with graphite, something dark.
But I do graphite as well. But will that show on the ground? I thought it was too similar.
It'll show if you put enough dark enough. And then lay the photograph on your canvas and draw it. Don't move.
I think
but yeah.
that's the technique I use at school with the kids, but I just thought with the coloured ground, I didn't think it would show through.
It should do. I mean, you don't need it to be black. You just need enough of a line.
What do you mean? What do you mean the color brown? You mean the ground on your?
Yeah, the colour that we do the ground.
Yeah,
the same.
Well, you can make that lighter. Just wipe it off and don't make it so dark. Just make it very off-whitish with the.
No, I want it the same colour as the strips, so it needs to be the same, really.
So it's like a grey, then, is it? Like
do the one that Tim says.
If you try drawing on it with a pencil, if you can see it, it'll work.
Okay, I'll have a go.
Yeah, and the other alternative is to grid up, but I actually think that.
Can't grid.
I don't think. I think a lot of people can't grid.
I can't grid. I don't know. It's because I'm dyslexic and dyscalculic, but I cannot grid. I just can't do it.
No.
Well, I always did thirds, and then drew it, and then but it takes a long time to get it correct.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can do the squiggle thing, and that's the most accurate thing I can do if I'm not tracing it. But anyway,
how do you do the scribble thing?
Squiggle, you just squiggle on your ground, and then you photograph it, and then you merge the picture on top so it's transparent. So then it's almost like a dot to dot. So each squiggle is unique, and you just match it up.
Yeah.
And that's the squiggle thing.
I've seen that. Some chap advertises that on Instagram.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I saw it too.
Yeah.
Chicken scratch, it's called.
Is it? I've never seen it before.
Well, it's the first time I've seen it this year because it was on the
Well, the big muralists do that. I mean, the large wall murals.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't expect them to go out with a 8x4 sheet of carbon paper.
No. They could project it, I suppose, but even then the light probably wouldn't.
Imagine the police officer saying, We didn't spot your aerosol cans, but we did see that 8x4 sheet of carbon paper you were carrying.
Oh, God.
So, that was entertaining.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Tim.
Brilliant. Next time, I don't know why you were shut out, because I did check and I actually had clicked the right time. Everything was set up, but I think it was just Murphy's Law. Everything was going to go.
I was shut out also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
it was and Mo, we both tried a few times, and it just kept saying you was already in the meeting.
Yeah, it did that with me as well. I think there's something going on today with the internet.
Yeah, I think so. It's that bloke in Birmingham. He's completely messed with
Yeah.
you.
He's hacked you.
Yeah.
Right, my love. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
See you
See you
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. So you're going to get the video out straight away.
I'm going to
'Cause
try and
I
process.
couldn't. I
It'll
couldn't
take
do it.
an hour to process or something like that. 'cause
Oh
it's
yeah,
got-
I'll do it
it's
tonight.
Got
Tonight.
to convert it.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Where's my button? Was there?